the weather. It's crap. It's red hot. London yesterday.
Why?
All right.
Okay. It was lovely in London yesterday, was it as well?
Sorry?
It was lovely in London yesterday.
It was brilliant.
Do you want to start us off with the injury situation?
Yes, we're a bit obviously concerned about the Morgan Schneiderland and Leighton Baines is cut. We've also had a back problem with Dominic as well. So we're hanging on till what looks like tomorrow for those three to see what their availability is. So there'll be little we can do today with those boys to give them the as long as we possibly can to see whether they're fit tomorrow or not. Obviously that leaves us, if none of them make it, that leaves us pretty limited, but I'm hopeful that if not all three, at least two of the three come through to be available for selection at Huddersfield away.
Still too early for Gylfi Sigurdsson?
Oh yeah, he's only just jogging around the pitch now in his rehab, so it's still a way off.
Terrific gesture the other night for the club to have the robot mascot.
Yes.
The virtual reality thing. What did you make of all that?
Well, obviously, I only found out just before the game, and I was talking to Phil Jagielka about it, and he said he'd had a chat, and I think and then Jeff at Sky had done a little bit on him on the robot technology as well. Like you mean, so to actually see how good it was, and the fact that it's like he's almost there live, isn't it? You know, I think that. There's a lot of great technology about today used in the right way, and that's certainly used in the right way when it gives somebody that little bit of joy who can't due to his condition obviously make the game live. It's as live as you could possibly be when you're walking out under the arm with the captain and then sitting in the press conference with the manager. So hopefully it can move forward even more from there, you know. But yes, great piece of technology.
So, one defeat in 6, 8th in the Premier League, a great position to be in. I mean, when you consider how the things were looking when you first arrived here, is this as good an outcome as you could have possibly expected, or even better, do you think?
Well, you could always you'd always want to strive to do better. I think that because we started in my reign so well, that we built up a great expectation that it might be even better than what it is now. But I think in reality, with all what we've done since we've been here, and how hard we've all worked, both off and on the field, staff behind the scenes and players, we've achieved a good way forward in the space of 5 months, and it is only 5 months, you know. And I think that what we've achieved in that period of time and what the players have achieved in that period of time is to strive to get better and better and be more and more consistent. And I think that certainly at home you cannot argue with the consistency and the quality that we've shown and the results. And away from home is still ongoing in terms of our capabilities of getting better, which has obviously been a long-term problem here at Everton. So I think it's been satisfying that the players have worked so hard to move the club in the right direction and get themselves away from what they were threatened with when I arrived. So yeah, it's been pretty satisfied, and one is never satisfied as a manager. One always wants your team to do better, to win more, to achieve more, but overall it's pretty satisfying for everybody, from the players and the backroom staff point of view, to have got where we've gotten with 3 games left, to try and continue to finish the last 3 games at the very least undefeated.
Do you feel in that respect as well then that you'd like to maybe be more entertaining, if at all possible? Do you feel as if you're under any sort of obligation?
But you see, what is entertainment? Entertainment is the master of defence in Europe, Simeone. You know, is that entertainment?
Well, this is the question.
But what I'm saying is, he's called the master of his trade, hasn't conceded a goal. I think he's only conceded 4 goals at home all season, and he's a master of defence. So I'm seen as defensive and too negative.
Is that unfair?
I don't think it's unfair. No, I just think that we all want to be more entertaining. I'm saying this: where we started to where we are now, we have not only achieved the goal we've achieved, but we have achieved some extremely entertaining games that we've played, right? And when you look at Newcastle, right, why was it difficult? What do we say? It takes 2 to tango. Did Newcastle want to come and try and put out their own half? No. Did Newcastle ever try and attack, apart from the last 10 minutes? No. So entertainment comes by both teams being a bit more open, a bit more adventurous. Newcastle were not adventurous whatsoever. So that's why we controlled the game and had to be very, very patient and wait for our opportunity. And when we got our opportunity, we struck and we won the game. Newcastle then came out the last 10 minutes and we had to defend the last 10 minutes, and we defended that very well to win the match. So if you want to look at the game in its entirety, it's very difficult to break down 10 players or 11 players in their own half. You know, Chelsea couldn't break us down. We played them at home. Liverpool couldn't break us down. We played them in their place, apart from a Salah wonder goal, and we got a 1-1. So, you know, it seems to be the running trend. Not for the players here, but for Sam Allardyce. It always seems to be the running trend. But I can cope with that because I do me job to the best of my ability, and I've always tried to be honest with everybody about how I do it and why I do it. And I think that because of where we started and where we are, we start from that basis and then get better. When you are faced with 28 goals conceded in 8 matches before I arrived, you know, one would expect that the manager would try to put that right first. And that's what we've tried to do. And then I think we're more entertaining now than when I first arrived here. I think we've got more confidence to be more of an attacking force. I think there was a middle spell where we tried to evolve in that, but then started losing football matches. So I think we've got the balance a bit better now by the results that we've gained.
So with 3 games to go, how much are you planning for next season now, or are you still in a stage where you're still waiting for clarification as to exactly what the plan is?
No, we discussed the plans for next season yesterday with Farhad, and I think that we've got some clarity moving forward now. I think our pre-season, in terms of when we start back and where we go, is nearly in place. The ins and outs of players is, there's this and this and this and this, but it's a pure wait and see basis in terms of what we can try and achieve, and then under those circumstances, what players do we move on? And I think that's a natural balance of everybody's pre-season. So we've had a discussion in that manner, and we try and move forward at the end of the season as quick as we can.
So you're all on board together and looking forward to next year?
Didn't I just say that?
Just
yes.
For the sake of clarification.
Clarification, yes.
As far as Huddersfield are concerned, they're not quite safe, but in a fairly decent position. They've got a tough run in. They'll obviously be wanting to make sure that they're in the Premier League next season. What have you made of the job that David Wagner's done over there?
Well, I think for the first season in that we're seeing that possibly all 3 teams that got promoted are going to stay in the division. I don't think anybody sort of expected that position, but I think that particularly from his own form point of view, I think they've won 6 at home is where their mainstay, like ourselves, has come from. So I think that their game plan will be to try and secure the 3 points. Our game plan is to spoil that situation and try and do the double of them. I think they came in my first full game, and we managed to beat them. But I think they're a lot better at home than they are away from home, and I think that we have the challenges of what the opposition have, their strengths and what their weaknesses are, and on the day, as a team, we have to try and expose their weaknesses and nullify the strengths as always. And for my players, it's about them playing the best away from home. Play it away from home like you play at home, and we'll certainly give Huddersfield some problems. And I think any less than that, we will have a struggle against Huddersfield.
Just finally, some of the fans with longer memories might remember 1985 when you played for Huddersfield against Fulham, and you're getting sent off after one of your teammates got involved in a horrendous challenge. What do you remember of that particular game?
As clear as well, horribly. I remember that situation because I lost the plot because David Burke was a young lad that grew up with me in the Bolton days, who I got to play with at Huddersfield, and when the bones shot through the sock on that challenge, there's no chance of me keeping me cool, unfortunately. I mean, I think the sad thing for me was I never got the player in the dressing room. They managed to shut the door before I got to him because it was an horrific challenge, I think. And actually one of the first cases ever won, because I think David Burke sued the player on that challenge and won his case. But it was really horrific on the day.
You're a bit calmer these days.
I am, yeah, just a bit.
Thanks, Sam.
Sam, can I just check with you a little bit more about those plans for the summer? Because I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago and you talked about reducing the squad by about a dozen. Is that still the plan, and does that then depend on finances available for new players?
Well, you can say it. You can say a dozen. You can say 10. What would you get to? Where will you get to that? I certainly think that the development of younger players is blocked up when you have a squad as big, a first team squad as big as it is. And in saying that, we've seen a lot of youngsters extend beyond their dreams this year and played a lot of regular first team football, and have left players a lot older than them back behind them. So, you've got your Bennies and Tom Davises and John Joe Kennys, Mason Allgates, Dominic Vlasic has had a few run-outs, you know what I mean? So we've had some youngsters, but I still think that when you look at a squad as big as ours, that it needs to be reduced for managing the numbers is a difficult task. With the expectation that you try and build, you need to be able to concentrate on those particular players and look for youngsters to break in the side and give them an opportunity when you can. So I think reducing the squad is what we need to do. And when we sign a player, I think we need to sign a player for the first team, not for the squad. So I don't think we need too many players, but I think when we need a player or two, and he has to be a top player to go straight in the team and make us better. Whether we get to that level and in such a difficult circumstances this summer due to the World Cup is one we will try hard to do. But at this moment in time, we've had our discussions and see what we can do and we take it forward.
But have you asked for finances, and have you got an assurance that the money's there if you want to go and buy quality players?
I think that whatever finances we've discussed is between the club and nobody else. And when a transfer comes along, and whoever that player might be, we will have already discussed whether he's affordable or not. And if he is, we will try and get him.
Thank you.
Okay. Just one.
Yeah, just very quick on Sam about the offer for Wembley. Your thoughts on that as the National Stadium?
Well, I haven't. Well, that was a bit of a shock for me, but having tried to listen to as much as what people think out there, it sounds like it's going to be a very, very good idea, based on the team still. As long as the team is still playing some games at Wembley, because the FA went through, a hugely difficult period to actually build that stadium. So to actually lose it and not play there would be a no from me. So there'd have to be a certain contract that makes sure that Wembley is still Wembley. and the cup finals are still played there, and international games are still played there. But obviously the travelling over and across the country would balance that off very, very well, I think. And of course, with extra money coming into the FA spent in the right way for development, grassroots football and football in general, I think that would be a very good thing.